08094194444 or 0909891944. Jestone Education, actualizing career dreams. 19.
If you wanna study abroad,
4444 or 0909891944. Jestone Education, actualizing career dreams.
is all you need. You can live, you can walk abroad. Jestone Education, actualizing dreams.
For seamless admission and visa processing to study, work, and live abroad, call Jestone Education on 08094194444 or 0909891944. Jestone Education, actualizing career dreams.
If you wanna study abroad,
if you need a visa to travel, Jestone Education
is all you need. You can study, you can live, you can walk abroad.
Jestone Education,
Actualizing dreams.
For seamless admission and visa processing to study, work, and live abroad, call Jestone Education on 08094194444 or 0909891944. Jestone Education, actualizing career dreams.
If you wanna study abroad,
if you need a visa to travel, Jestone Education
is all you need. You can study, you can live, you can walk abroad.
Jestone Education,
Actualizing dreams.
For seamless admission and visa processing to study, work, and live abroad, call Jestone Education on 08094194444 or 0909891944. Jestone Education, actualizing career dreams.
If you wanna study abroad,
if you need a visa to travel, Jestone Education
is all you need. You can study, you can live, you can walk abroad.
Jestone Education,
Actualizing dreams.
For seamless admission and visa processing to study, work, and live abroad, call Jestone Education on 08094194444 or 0909891944. Jestone Education, actualizing career dreams.
If you wanna study abroad,
if you need a visa to travel.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to today's Jestone exclusive webinar with University of Strathclyde. If you can hear me, just kindly indicate. I can see that we have 24 persons that have joined today's session. If you can hear me, just to confirm that you can hear me loud and clear, just drop a message in the chat. You can respond with an emoji. You can respond with just, I can hear you, You can react if you can hear me. Oluwabelumi, thank you. Or I can see a chat. Also, Deborah says she can hear me. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Uju. Good morning, Priceless Temi. Samson, thank you. Thank you for responding. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining today's webinar. Today's session is Jeffstone's exclusive webinar with University of Strathclyde. Strathclyde, I beg your pardon. It promises to be really insightful. We have the representative of the university. They're going to be joining us shortly. It promises to be a really insightful session where you are going to be learning all you need to know about this prestigious university. University of Strathclyde is one of the top universities in the UK. And if you had seen the ad that Infinix says you can't hear me, if you can't hear me, kindly make sure that your mic is on mute and that you've also, activated your speaker for this session. So that might be an issue that you might be facing. Whoever that person says they can hear me. All right, so if you can't hear me, just make sure that your mic is on mute and your speaker is activated for Zoom. That might be one of the reasons. So I'm just going to be confirming shortly that we have the representative of the university around and on the call so we can start the meeting right about now. Thank you everyone for joining, and we're going to just wait about 2 minutes. I'm going to be playing so you see some really beautiful videos about the university. And once we get confirmation that the representative is on the call, we'll get right started and make this session really worth your while. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat during the course of the presentation. And we are going to be taking time to, answer all those questions that you have. Thank you everyone for joining. Just a minute or two, and we are going to go live into today's session. Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, Jamie. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. Hi,
Good
Jamie, just
afternoon.
confirm that you can hear me. Good afternoon.
Yeah,
How are you
all
doing
good.
today?
How are you? Okay, are you well?
Yes, I'm very well, doing very well. Thank you for asking.
Excellent.
So we're trying to make Egona able to unmute, so she's going to come on live as well, so I can confirm that she can hear us loud and clear. Then we get the session started. Thank you so much for availing yourself. We have about 40 people right now. We're expecting more people to join during the course of the session. Like I've said, it promises to be really insightful. University of Strathclyde is one of the top universities in the UK. in tech, engineering, business programs. They've got really amazing programs and also a very high employability rate. So it's going to be a really, really insightful session, and we are looking forward to it. All right, we are going to be getting started now, but just to confirm one more time, are you able to hear me, Egono? Have you been able to unmute? I think you should be able to do that right now.
Okay, yes, I have. Hi, good
Hi, how are you
morning.
doing
Yes, I can
today?
hear you clearly.
All right,
I'm
awesome.
fine, thank you. What about you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. So again, this is Jeststone's exclusive webinar with the University of Strathclyde. We are going to be going right into it, but just like I mentioned at the start, there'll be a session where you get to ask your questions. So whatever concerns you might have, feel free to drop them in the chat. After the presentation, we are going to be going for a short break, and then we'll take all the questions that you have. Whatever questions you have, feel free to drop them in the chat. If you have friends that you know need to be here, feel free to send them the Zoom login link and let them join us here as soon as possible. If you're ready to begin your application, right today's call, just an education advisors are on standby on the call, and they'll be looking through the chat. All you just need to do is identify and say, oh, I'm ready to begin my application, and they'll be reaching out to you as soon as possible to get your documents and send in your application. So we are going right into the presentation right now. I'm Jamie Egon. I don't know who's going first, but you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Benaya, and appreciate the warm welcome and for putting on this session today. It's very much appreciated. Aguano, are you going to share your slides then, and I'll get started?
Yeah, just 1 second.
Thank you. But yeah, it's great to see so many people here today. It's a great turnout. How's the weather in Nigeria at the moment? Is it very hot?
It's actually really, really chill. We're in a rainy season, so rained a little bit in the morning. I'm expecting some more rain today.
Right, okay, I see. Well, it's always, in Scotland, it's sunny today, but it's a lot colder than Nigeria, that's for sure. But it's summer for us, so there's not too much rain
Yeah.
just now. Abuja is cold. It can't be cold compared to Scotland. That's impossible. No, good stuff. How are you getting on, Aguno? Is it sharing?
All right. Egon, any challenge with sharing your screen? All right.
No,
I
I'm
think it's
not.
coming
I just wanted to adjust something, yeah.
up. All right. I think it's coming up now. Yes, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll just get started from here then. So yeah, hi everybody, and thank you so much for joining today. So my name is Jamie Wilson, and I'm International Recruitment Manager for Africa here at the University of Strathclyde. And also we have Aguno here as well, who is our West Africa Manager, who is based in Lagos. So hopefully you can understand my Scottish accent. Okay, in Scotland we have a different accent from England or Wales or Ireland, but hopefully you can understand me okay. And if you any questions you have, obviously we'll come to them at the end of the session. But please feel free to comment in the chat box as well, and we'll pick up your questions at the end of the session. So, just moving on to the next slide, you'll see our contact details. So yeah, you have myself, Aguno, and also Noor as well, who's a senior international officer. So please feel free to save those details and reach out to us directly if you have any questions as well. Okay, so in terms of the overview for today's session, I'll talk a little bit about Strathclyde as an institution. I'll talk about Scotland as a destination and also Glasgow as well as a city, as the biggest city in Scotland and one of the biggest cities in the UK. And then Aguno will go through and talk to you about some of our entrance requirements, some of our different programs, our faculties, and then I'll finish off with some information on the application process, the fees, scholarships, and career opportunities as well. Next slide, please. Oh, is it working? Aguano, is it working?
I think she's frozen.
It's frozen.
Yeah, she's
Give it a second, yeah.
Seems like it's
Come back
cooking
in.
here.
Yes, it is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now. Back now. This the next slide, please. Let's see if I can share instead. Then it may be quicker. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll share my screen. Sorry about this. 2 seconds. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thanks again. So back on.
Welcome.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so why Strathclyde? And there's a number of reasons to choose Strathclyde, and I'm just going to pick out some of our rankings and our main accolades that we've won in recent years. So, Strathclyde has actually won the UK University of the Year in 2012 and also 2019. So we're the first university in the UK to win this award twice. In 2024, we also won the Scottish University of the Year. And we've got a number of programs that are highly ranked within the UK. So the Times University League Table has 22 subjects ranked in the top 10 in the UK, and that's across all four of our faculties. And the Complete University Guide also has 12 of our subjects ranked in the top 10 in the UK. And in terms of overall ranking in the UK, we're 20th in the UK out of 131 universities according to the Times, and we're 32nd in the UK out of 130 according to the Complete University Guide. So we are a highly ranked institution, and we've got a lot of very, very strong programs on offer across undergrad degrees, master's programs, and also PhD as well. Next slide, please, Agano. Okay, so some key facts. So the university was founded in 1796 by Professor John Anderson as the place of useful learning. So we are a relatively old institution. We're over almost 230 years, and we're a large institution as well. We are the third largest university in Scotland. So you have Glasgow and Edinburgh University are the two biggest, but Strathclyde is the third biggest institution in Scotland, and we've got over 30,000 students in total from 140 different countries. So of that, we would say about between 4 to 4,500 of those students are international students. So we have a very diverse campus, students from all over the world, and a huge international contingent as well. So if you are interested in studying at Strathclyde in Glasgow, you'll have a lot of fellow Nigerians as well, who you'll study alongside, fellow Africans as well, and lots of other international students from all across the world. And we're a city centre campus as well. So we're right in the heart of Glasgow. And we'll show you some slides shortly, which gives you an idea of where the campus is in relation to the rest of the city. Okay, so yeah, Scotland has one of the most renowned education systems in the world, and we have some of the highest ranking institutions globally, and we've created lots of you know, amazing inventors and thinkers. So one notable one to mention would be John Logie Baird, who invented the television. He was also an alumni of Strathclyde. He studied his PhD at Strathclyde, and then he went on to invent the television. But Scotland's also known for other inventors, such as the inventor of the telephone, Alexander Graham Bell, as well. So we're very well known for engineering, sciences, sustainable offshore wind, hydrogen, clean energy, renewable energy, software, finances, and the IT sector as well. And we've got a strong history of innovation and invention as well. Scotland also has a very strong culture and heritage. I'm sure there's lots of things that come to mind when you think of Scotland. You might think of some of the amazing beauty and scenery, as you can see in the photo there. We've got amazing mountains and hills and green countryside, a lot of amazing wildlife as well. We also have a lot of history in terms of our castles, our famous monuments. You know, if you've watched the film Braveheart, for example, we've got a long tradition that goes on for centuries. And there's lots of unique things to Scotland. We have things like the kilt, which is the Scottish skirt that men wear to weddings and graduations, etc. And we have lots of amazing things like whiskey as well, and lots of amazing food and drink within the country. So lots of different things to explore and enjoy whilst in Scotland. And also, as you can see, there are lots of amazing stunning landscapes. Next slide, please. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have more world-class universities per head of population than anywhere else in the world, with over 600 years of higher education. So the American system is actually based on the Scottish system. So they take a lot of inspiration for their degree structure from Scottish institutions. Scotland also comes top in the UK for student satisfaction, and over 90% of full-time first degree leavers from Scottish universities are in work or further study after graduating, which is the highest in the UK. And we also have the highest proportion of students that graduate with a first or upper class second degree. Next slide, please. Okay, so the Scottish degree structure is a four-year program. This is more looking at the undergrad student route. Obviously, if you're doing a master's program, it is 1 year, or a PhD would be a minimum of 3 years. But the idea is that you study a breadth of subjects in your first and second years. And as you progress through each year, you go into more depth in those subject areas. So you can study a wide range of subjects in your first couple of years if you're studying an undergraduate bachelor's degree. You have flexibility to try different subjects. And as you progress, can then become more specialist in your chosen area of study. So again, it just prepares students better for going off into employment opportunities after their work because they've studied a wider range of subjects and then specialised in their chosen area. Next slide, please. Okay, this is just an example again of a four-year degree in Scotland. And again, it's important to mention if you're doing an undergrad degree in England, you only do 3 years, whereas in Scotland, you do 4 years. So you'll see here in the first year, you can take up to 4 subjects. Okay, this is an example of a business program at Strathclyde. So you can do 4 different business subjects. Then in year 2, you can take 2 of those subjects as your principal subjects and then 1 minor subject. So for this example, the student has picked marketing and business enterprise, and they've not taken some of the other subjects like economics and hospitality tourism management. They do the same again in third year, and then in their final year, they can either do a single honours, which is just a specialisation in marketing, or they can do a joint honours, a marketing degree with business enterprise combined. So it'll be 50-50, so 50% of each of those, or they can do 100% of one subject. So just to give you an idea of the sort of flexibility that you can do whilst you study at a bachelor's degree in Scotland. Next slide, please. Okay, so studying Glasgow. So it is the biggest city in Scotland. It's about the third or fourth biggest city in the UK. It says in the slide here it's the third in the UK, but I think it's between the third and fourth. It sort of varies depending on what stats you look at. But the main point here is it's a huge city by UK standards, just over 1 million people. So there's lots of different things happening within Glasgow. It's a very vibrant, very cosmopolitan city. It's a UNESCO World City of Music. We have over 100 different music events happening in the city every week, whether it's sort of global superstars or it's more local acts. And there's all sorts of different, tastes, depending on what you're interested in, whether it's music, even things like comedy, art as well. We have a large number of art galleries and museums across the city. And the amazing thing about Scotland is museums and art galleries are free for the public to enjoy. So you don't have to pay anything to visit these award-winning museums and galleries. Scotland, or Glasgow specifically, is very well known for having lots of green spaces. So we have over 90 different parks and green spaces across Glasgow. So even though you're in the city centre, you can very quickly be in a green space. You can go to one of the local parks, you can sit outside, have picnics, just enjoy the wildlife and just being outside. It's a very nice way to relax in between your study. Glasgow's also very well known for things like shopping as well. We've got an amazing array of different shops. One of the largest retail sectors in the UK are based in Glasgow. Lots of amazing restaurants, cafes as well. So loads of different things going on. So there really is something for everyone. And you'll see in this slide here as well, we are ranked one of the world's best cities by Time Out magazine in 2025 and ranked 33rd in the world for student cities by the QS. So again, it's an amazing place to study as an international student. Okay, so I'm now going to pass it on to Aguno, who will take you through the next section of the slides.
Okay, just confirming if you can hear me.
Yeah, all good, okay, no, you're fine.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, okay, thank you. So in terms of location, so we're located on the west coast.
I think your signal's dropping out, so I'll maybe just
Yeah,
take over.
it keeps, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Okay.
No, that's fine. No problem. I'll just take over from here until your signal improves. Okay, so yeah, in terms of our location, we're on the west coast of Scotland. So we're on the west of the country. And by train from Edinburgh, which is the capital, it's about 1 hour, 15 minutes by train from Edinburgh, which is the capital. If you're getting a train from London, people will always ask us, how far are we from London? It's about 5 hours in total by train, maybe slightly less than that, about 4.5 hours. I'm actually going to London tomorrow for a meeting, and I'll go there and back on the same day. I'll be flying down tomorrow, so about an hour by flight as well to London. And again, by different parts of Europe as well, you can go to Paris. It's about an hour and 45 minutes. You can go to Amsterdam in about an hour and a half. You can go to Spain, Italy, all within about 3 hours as well. So Scotland is very accessible to the rest of Europe, but also to the rest of the UK. Next slide, please. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we are in the heart of the city within Glasgow. So the map you can see there, the buildings in navy is the university buildings. So everything is very compact. We're not spread out across the city. Everything is in the one area. So you typically find it's about a 5 to kind of 10 minute walk between both sides of the campus. So everything is very accessible. At the top, you have the library and the sports centre, and then the buildings below, you have all of the main faculty buildings as well. This area on the right-hand side, which is a sort of yellow buildings, and this is accommodation that we have for students and international students. We have a mixture here of undergrad accommodation and also postgrad accommodation as well. But from this image you can see here, if you walk about 10 minutes along the road at the bottom, it will take you into the city centre of Glasgow. So we're about a 5 to 10 minute walk from all the main train stations, all the main sort of retail sections, all the restaurants, cafes, cinemas, etc. So we're very, very centrally located within the city. And again, also have an underground system in Glasgow. So like London, they have the underground. We have a similar system. It's called the subway. It's much more simplified than the London underground. But again, this connects the whole of the city as well, which makes it very easy to get around. Next slide again. Do you want to see if your signal is back?
Yes, it is, but it keeps tripping though.
No worries. Have a go, and if it's not working, I can jump in.
Okay, cool. So, okay, where did we stop? Yeah, so like Jamie mentioned earlier, so we're truly global, so easy access to different parts of the Europe and different locations in Europe and the rest of the UK. So by direct flight from Glasgow International Airport, so we're just 1 hour, 50 minutes to Paris. Direct direct flight as well to Dubai, 7 hours, 50 minutes. So instead of going to London, you can get direct flights to from Glasgow International Airport to these locations. In terms of home comfort, so we have a large African community. So we have a lot of Nigerians, we have a lot of Africans, Ghanaians, Kenyans, different people from all over the world. And in terms of, we have a diverse religion population as well in Glasgow. So we have African churches, Islamic centers. We also have state groups where students can join different groups. That's Igbo states, Yoruba states, Northern states as well. And we also have a lot of over 200 plus clubs and societies. So students can join different clubs and societies. And also there are voluntary opportunities for students as well to join. And most of them are paid, some are unpaid. So there's a lot for every student to get involved. We have international supermarkets, restaurants, and cafes. So students don't have to go to London. Everything is in Glasgow. And also we have a large community, Nigerian community society, where we have a lot of students, executives, where they assist students, new students joining campus, coming in September, in January, and they help them settle in quickly and easy so they don't tend to struggle when they get on campus. So in terms of faculties, we have 4 faculties. So this is the first faculty, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences. We have 9 subjects ranked top 10 in the UK. We have courses like Education Studies, Law, International Relations, Social Work in this faculty. The second faculty is the Faculty of Engineering, the largest engineering faculty in Scotland and one of the largest in the UK. We have different courses, biomedical engineering. We have top courses as well in this faculty that are top 10 in the UK. The third faculty is Science, Faculty of Science, top 10. Some courses are top 10 in the UK as well. So we have Pharmacy and Pharmacology ranked the first in the UK, and Forensic Science ranked first in the UK as well. So we have strong courses. And the fourth faculty is our Business School, where we're out of 124 business schools in the world to have a triple accreditation, and we're a top 10 UK business schools. So we have courses like Accounting and Finance, MBA, Economics, Human Resource Management. So in terms of entry requirements, so for undergrad, we don't accept directly to year 1. So WAEC and NECO is not sufficient enough for students to get direct entry to year 1. So students will require to do A-levels or IB. So if students are doing A-levels, they have to have a minimum of 3 relevant subjects. And depending on the course, it's stated on the course webpage, students have some courses accept ABB, some AAB, some BBB. So everything is stated on the course webpage. And there's possible entries to year 2 once the students has completed A-levels, which is 2 years, and IB as well. For direct entries to year 1 or year 2, depending on the student's grade. We take overall grade in 30 to 36 and subject test higher level and standard level at 5. And for locals, so for WAEC and NECO, if that's the highest level of qualification, the students have to go through our foundation program, which is done at our International Study Center. So for students that have national diploma or higher national diploma, that's HND. For HND, we don't accept HND directly for master's level. So if students have HND and they have a distinction or upper credits, they can take them. We can accept them for our pre-master's program. For national diploma, that's ND, it's going to be on a case by case, depending. The faculty will be the ones to decide based on the student transcript if they're going to accept them to year 1. For masters, so for masters, we have masters, MSc, and we have masters research. We have PhD. For master's STOT, that's MSc, we accept it 2 upwards, and students have to have 2.8/4 for GPA. And it depends, so we tend to be flexible depending on the course, where if the students, for example, this is a 2.8/4, if the students have a 2.7/4 and they have sufficient work experience, that might be on a case by case. The faculty might be flexible because of the experience to accept them for those programs. Then for PhD, we have application required. So we require research in different area for students, same as Emirates. And so when we say flexible application process, proposal is not always required. It just depends on some courses in science and engineering. But everything is stated on the course webpage in terms of research proposals for Emirates. So in terms of entry requirements, for English waivers, so for students to get waivers, we accept, we take WAEC C6 and above in English, and we also accept a medium of instruction letter from your previous institution. So if you graduated, you finished your bachelor's in 2020 till date, which is 5 years, in addition to your WAEC or NECO, which is a C6 and above in English, we're going to accept your MOI from your previous institution. If you graduated over 5 years ago, in addition to these 2 documents, we also require you to request an MOI from your current employer that you're working in a workplace that speaks English so you can get waivers. So Jamie, I'll just take that over to you.
Thank you, Agino. If you just jump to the next slide. So just for some information on the application process and also some key dates to consider as well. So for all of our programs, we have a September start date. And we also have a January start date as well. So we have about 60 of our most popular master's programs available in January as well. But everything else is also available in the main intake, which is the September intake. So What we'd recommend if you're applying for the year ahead, usually around October, November, is the start of the application process for the January and September intakes. What we find is that sort of February and March tend to be the sort of peak application period where we are the most busy in terms of processing applications. So again, it's always important to try and recommend if you are interested in applying to apply as early as possible to the program. Just because if you apply when it's a busier period, it might take slightly longer for your application to be processed. However, what I would say about Strathclyde is we do aim to process applications within sort of kind of 7 to 14 days. It just depends on the program that you're applying to. But typically, we are a reasonably fast institution at turning over applications and issuing offer letters. And we do also accept late applications. We don't have application deadlines for our programs, apart from a small number of programs which have limited spaces, things like pharmacy or things like counselling, for example, where there's more limited spaces. But for 99% of our programs, there's no application deadline. As long as you can apply for the program in enough time to prepare your documents, prepare your finances for the visa, and arrive on time for the start of the program. So just worth bearing that in mind. But obviously, the earlier you apply, the better. It gives you more time to prepare your application and start the program on time. We do allow students to start later, sometimes with their degree, maybe by a couple of weeks. So say, for example, if they start in mid-September, and they can't arrive till the start of October, we do allow a little bit of flexibility for students in this position. But again, we encourage you to apply as early as possible. Next slide, please, Aguro. Okay, so now we have the fees here. Okay, we have a number of scholarships as well that we're going to talk you through as well. So the tuition fees for Strathclyde kind of range from sort of 21,500 up to about 30,300 for undergrad. And then we have the postgrad fees from about 19,800 up to about 33,450. Now, I know that seems quite high, but we do have very competitive scholarships that I will talk you through in a second, which bring this fee down dramatically. The other thing just to mention in the last slide would be the cost of living as well. So cost of living in Glasgow for an undergraduate student around about kind of £12,500 and up to about 16 and a half thousand pounds for a master's student now. And these are approximate values that we propose. So this is the amount of money we believe that you would need to fund your living costs, your social expenses, food, etc., while studying within Glasgow. And these costs are quite consistent across Scottish universities. I would say that what's quoted there is a little bit on the higher end. A lot of students will do it for much less than this. But again, it's just something to bear in mind when you're applying to study in Scotland as you think about the cost of living as well. Okay, so now on to the scholarships. Now we have automatic scholarships for master students across all four faculties. For all students, international students, for engineering, we have an automatic scholarship of 5,000. For humanities and social sciences, 5 to 7,000. For science, 5,000. And then the business school, 6 to 8,000. Okay, so these are automatic scholarships for all international students. Now, if we go into the next slide, we have a breakdown here, and we also have increased in scholarships specifically for Nigerian students. Okay, so in the right-hand column there, you'll see humanities and social sciences for postgrad. We have increased the scholarship for Nigerian students for this September and January intake to £7,000 to £9,000. Okay, automatic if you're a Nigerian student. So this will bring the fee down considerably. So that will bring the fees down to around about sort of kind of 14 to sort of £16,000 in total. They also have a Dean's Excellence Award, which is £10,000. So this is really for first class students that will be considered for the Dean's Excellence Award at 10,000. But as a Nigerian student, if you apply to humanities, you'll get between 7 to 9,000 automatic. In terms of the business school, We also have a larger enhanced scholarship for Nigerian students. So they have now increased it to 13 to 15,000 pounds automatic scholarship for Nigerian students. Okay, so it's a considerable scholarship for Nigerian students for business school as well as humanities. Now, the business school scholarship is a larger amount than humanities. The reason for that is because the humanities tuition fees are much lower. Okay, but basically with the scholarships, they equate to a similar level. So again, if you are interested in humanities and business for September or January, I would encourage you to apply as soon as possible, so you can take advantage of these automatic scholarships for Nigerian students. For science and engineering, the automatic is only 5,000, but it's still a very good scholarship. And they also have Dean's Excellence Awards. So for science, 7 to 8,000 pounds for masters, and 7 to 10,000 pounds for engineering as their excellence awards as well. Okay, and next slide, please, Agano. Okay, so in terms of the deposit fee for Nigerian students is a 35% of the total tuition fee is the deposit. And the tuition fee can be paid over 3 installments. Okay, so the first installment would be due on or before registration, so that'd be the 35%, which is your deposit, which would then allow you to get the CAS to then apply for the visa. The second installment would be on the 1st of December, and the final installment would be on the 1st of March. So you pay in 3 equal installments. Next slide, please. Okay, so accommodation. So I did mention this in the slide at the start. We have accommodation on campus, and we've got over 2,000 rooms available on our campus. Some of these have en-suite options with a bathroom and shower. Some also have double beds, for example. We are separated by male and female, and we have some accommodations as well, which are alcohol free. But all of the accommodation is 24/7 security. There's staff there at all times of the day to assist you or help you if you have any issues. And the cost for the accommodation on campus starts from £117 per week, and that includes everything. So that covers your accommodation, your energy bills, your Wi-Fi, your water. It's all inclusive in that 117. That's the starting price, but obviously, depending on what option you go for, there are slightly more expensive options as well. One of the good things about using or staying in Strathclyde accommodation is you also get free access to Strathclyde Sport, which is our state-of-the-art gym facility as well. Okay, so you get a free gym membership as a student living in accommodation. However, if you don't want to stay in the university accommodation, because we are in the city centre of Glasgow, there's lots of private accommodation providers around the university, which offer amazing facilities to students. Again, if you are interested, you can let us know and we can share more information about the different accommodation within Glasgow. A lot of students, though, will choose to rent their own private apartment or house, and there's lots of options kind of on the outskirts of Glasgow, which are a little bit more affordable and cheaper for students. Next slide, please. Okay, what I'd encourage you to do as well is take out the check out the hashtag StrathLife on our social media channels. You'll find a lot of information about the universities. You'll find a lot of content that's produced by our students, international students and Scottish students as well. It's a great way to get an insight into what life at Strathclyde is like. So I would recommend that you check that out. Next slide, please, Aguro. Okay, and we've got also a wide number of student services available to international students. A lot of these are available to help you during your studies, to offer advice, whether it's related to study guidance, maybe you need some financial advice as well. We have dedicated teams there who can help you with finances, for example. We also have the home and international support team. Again, if you have any visa issues, or you're looking to travel to Europe on the Schengen visa, or if you have any other issues related to visa, or if you have dependents coming with you, we have the visa support team who can assist you with that as well. The disability and wellbeing service as well, who offer a wide range of amazing services. And they do a lot of one-to-one counselling. They do workshops, and they'd have different resources to help you if you maybe have a disability or if you have mental health issues. They're there to support you to make sure that you're happy, that you're safe, and that if you have any problems or concerns, you can raise it in a safe environment. And we also have the career service as well, which are a fantastic team, and I'll talk about that in a second as well, because the career service I think are really important for any international student who wants to stay and work in the UK after their studies. Next slide, please, Aguno. And then we have the Strathclyde Union, which is an amazing place. It's where we have over 200 different societies at the union. Whether it's sports societies, over 50 different outdoor sports societies from football, basketball, tennis, running, athletics, you name it, we have it. And then other societies that might relate to things like politics or the debate society or the chess society or the reading society, and more importantly, the Nigerian society, who are one of our most active societies in the university. And I've got a slide on them in a second, which I'll show you. But in terms of the career service, which on the next slide, the career service are a dedicated team within the university who offer advice to all students on maybe what to think about in terms of their next step in their career, if they want to go into further education, if they're maybe doing a master's degree, do they want to do a PhD or do they want to go straight into work? And they do a lot of amazing things in terms of support for students. So they'll have things like one-to-one interview sessions with students to prepare them for applying for jobs. They'll help them write their CV. And they also have a job portal as well, where companies will post their jobs with the career service and they'll help guide students through that process. And we always encourage students to engage with the career service as early as possible. So if you're coming to do a master's program with us, which is 1 year, please reach out to the career service, within their first couple of months, just to find out what they do and how they can help you. Because you don't want to wait until the end of your degree and then you approach a career service and you've missed out on an opportunity for them to prepare you for looking for those jobs. The UK market is very competitive when it comes to finding a job. So you want to make sure you're prepared as possible. The career service also do things like the Scottish Graduate Fair as well, which is the largest graduate fair in Scotland. And it's organised by the Strathclyde Careers team. So what they do is they host this at the Scottish Exhibition Centre and they invite lots of companies from around Scotland and the UK to have a stand and to promote their offering to students. So Strathclyde students can attend that as well. It's a good opportunity to network and find out about the different career options that are available to them. And the good thing about the career service is you can use them up to 5 years after you graduate. So again, highly recommend you reach out to them if you study with us in Glasgow. Okay, that's pretty much all from me for now. Again, we'll open the floor for any questions for myself and Aguno. Feel free to enter your questions in the chat box, or if you want to come off mute and ask us anything directly, we're more than happy to answer any questions that you have.
All right, thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much. This has been really insightful. We've already started getting interest in the chat box. Some persons are already saying they're interested and want to get started. And there are also questions in the chat box. So we are just going to take a 1-minute break. Once we are back from that, we are going to be taking the questions. For those that are just joining, this is Just on Education's exclusive webinar with University of Strathclyde in Glasgow. We've just run through the presentation, which was really insightful. Jamie spoke to us about the scholarships for Nigerian students, which has been increased, and also the courses that are available. But if you do have any other questions that you would like clarity on, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. And once we return from this short break, we are going to go right into the questions so we can begin to wrap today's session up and help those who want to start the application to begin immediately. All right. All right, we're back. So I'm just looking through. There are a couple of questions. We are also live on YouTube. So we have one question there. So I'll just start with the question there and then we'll take the questions that are here on Zoom. So the question, so I believe there are many other persons that want to ask this question as well. The person is asking, can I be awarded more than one of the scholarships at the
So
same time?
So the answer for that is no. You're only eligible for one scholarship. So it would be the highest value scholarship. So for example, if you had applied to the business school, you'd receive the enhanced scholarship for that program, but you'd only get one scholarship, which is the highest value. You can't combine two, I'm afraid.
All right, thank you very much. That is very clear. So for those asking questions regarding scholarships, there you have it. You're eligible for the highest value scholarship and you can take it. And I mean, it just makes the fees a lot more, affordable and doable for a lot of students from Nigeria. There's another question here. So I believe what she's trying to ask, that's Rita, is do Nigerians, since we speak English, do they have to provide proof of English proficiency when applying for your programs?
So the rules on it are, so if a student has completed WIEC, it has to be dated within
Yes,
three
I just
years.
saw the video.
But in the most cases, the students are applying for master's degrees. Okay, so we require a letter, a English proficiency letter from your bachelor's degree, but it has to be dated within 5 years, or you've graduated within 5 years for us to waive the English condition. If you have graduated more than 5 years ago from your bachelor's degree, we then can ask for an additional letter from an employer which confirms that you use English in everyday business operations, and then we can then apply for an English assessment to be done to then waive the English condition. So in short, if you've graduated within 5 years from a Nigerian institution, we'll waive the English. If it's more than 5 years, we'll ask for additional evidence like a letter from your employer and will then be able to waive the English condition.
All right, thank you very much. Another question here from YouTube. So I'll just respond to that. It's from Delight. She's asking, how can I join? And can Nigerians get scholarship to this university? All right, Delight, just to respond to that, um, I don't know if you registered for this webinar, but even if you didn't, a Justin advisor is going to send you a message in the chat, in the live chat there. So they'll just get your details and get in touch with you on WhatsApp. We'll be able to help you handle the application process. We just need to get your documents. They're going to be letting you know what documents are required so you can immediately begin your application process. And as for your second question, yes, there are scholarships for Nigerian students. We already worked through those scholarships. Your advisor is going to be walking you through those scholarships as well. You can get scholarships from as high as 10,000 to as high as 15,000 pounds, correct, Jamie?
Yeah, that's
So
correct. Yeah.
they'll walk you through all scholarships, and once you're eligible, you're going to be getting those scholarships. It's an automatic scholarship, and you do not have to apply for it. I hope
Yeah.
that answers your question. I'm delighted. All right, the next question here. Said, I read medical laboratory science at first degree, and I'm registered, and she didn't go on to ask the question. So Rita, if you can hear us, please just go on and complete the question if there's anything you'd like for us to address in that regard. Priceless is asking, is this school affiliated with any loan companies? If yes, I'm interested. So just to respond to that, just in education, we have a loaning, study loan service that you can access. You can reach out to your advisor. That's the person who sent you the link to join in this webinar. They're going to let you in on what you need to do and what you should have to be able to access that service. So any other person on the call who has that interest, feel free to reach out to the Justin advisor that sent you the link to this webinar, and we are going to, we're going to get you sorted in that regard. Would you be saying, I want to start my application? Fantastic. Your Justin advisor is on this call, and I'm sure they've seen your message and they are going to be in your DM shortly to send you the requirements that you need to send in regarding documents, and then we'll get that on the way. All right, there's a question here from Deborah. Does the MRES courses allow for dependents in cases of married people? So does your MRES course allow for dependents, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have a number of MRes programs across all four faculties, and all of them are at the required level that allow for dependents to come with the student. So the answer is yes, that is correct.
So just to double check that, so anybody going for the Emirates courses, they're able to come in with their partners if they're married and the children in that case. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so they're allowed to travel with dependents for our MRes program. So yeah, wife or husband and children. All of our MRes programs are at the required level that satisfy the dependent requirement. So yeah, all MRes programs we offer at that.
All right. Okay, so you've gotten the answer, Deborah. All Emirates courses are the level that would allow you come in with your dependents as long as you meet the requirements for that program. So please feel free to reach out to Jestone and we are going to help you with whatever information you might be needing in that regard. Oluwapelumi is asking, aside from the automatic scholarships, are there other scholarships that okay, so he already walked us through the scholarships. So that's what University of Strathclyde is currently offering. A top UK university. So it's already they were already quite affordable for top universities at their level. And giving this tuition discounts is just, really comfortable. It makes it really comfortable to be able to study at a top UK university at a pretty affordable price. Um, is undergraduate part of the scholarship? Cindy is asking.
Yeah, so we have undergrad scholarships as well, which are slightly different from the master's scholarships. So, for humanities, we have a £5,000 scholarship. For undergrad business, we have a 20% discount. For engineering, undergraduate, we have a 10% discount. And then for science, we have between five to £7,000 scholarship. So each faculty at undergrad has their own scholarships as well. Some of those you have to apply for, but students have a good chance of getting the majority of those scholarships. But at master's level, we have the automatic scholarships that I mentioned as well.
All right, thank you very much. So you've got it, and the graduate scholarships are available as well. Uju is asking, can you list the Emirates courses available? So I know it's on your website, but do you have a list that you can quickly drop in the chat or something? Or
Yeah,
just
I
send
think, yeah,
together?
what we'll do, are you able to just pull off a list and just add it into the chat if possible? Yeah, there's quite a good number of programs there, so we'll try and pull it for you. If we can't do it just now, we'll share it with Jestone directly and they can issue
Yes,
it
that's fine.
to it, but that's fine. We'll certainly be able to, or even if you're able to pull it up again on a slide, I can quickly
All
highlight
right.
it shortly.
So, Uju, your advisor is going to, we're going to have that list ready for you. We already know the courses that University of Strathclyde is offering. So you can also just drop your advisor a chat and they are going to give you a response to that question. I'm interested in, so this is a pretty long question. I'm interested in prosthetics and orthotics. I hope I got that correct.
Yeah,
I
that's
have
it.
my ND, HND, and I'm currently doing my conversion to BSc in prosthetics and the other one, and I would be done in March 2026. I also have another degree in environmental health. I want to apply for MSc in piano. Please, is there any scholarship I can get? So I think this already answers. There are scholarships available as long as you have the requirements that meets those scholarships. The scholarship covers all Nigerians, all right? So there's a scholarship that covers all Nigerians. You definitely can access that as long as you're going for a course that University of Strathclyde offers.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. Just to say there as well, obviously, I would encourage you to apply. You know, if you send Jestone your documents, we can have a look to see if you're eligible for the master's program. And as Benaya said, you're eligible for the automatic scholarship in engineering if you get an offer for the program.
Thank you so much. Can I still apply for this September intake? And when are the deadlines?
Yes, absolutely. You can apply for September or January. We don't have any deadlines. Our policy on deadlines is that as long as you can apply for the program in time, get your documentation, complete your conditions, arrange your finances, and essentially arrive on time for the start of the program, you can still go ahead with the application. So, for example, if you want to apply in August, as long as you can do everything and get here for September, then that's absolutely fine. So there's no set deadline as long as it's realistic that you can make it in time for the start of the program.
All right, thank you very much, Jamie. There's another question here. How many do you offer installment payments for the tuition fee?
Yeah,
Someone is asking for installment payments.
yeah, absolutely. So we have three installments for the tuition fee. The deposit is 35%, which is the first installment which you pay on or before registration in September. And then you pay in two more installments after that. Now, what I would say is installments are, say September, before registration, December and March, but you can pay towards those fees in advance. So you could pay some in October, you could pay some in November, as long as you paid the second installment by December, and then if the third installment is due in March, you could pay some in January, you could pay some in February, as long as you satisfy the full installment by the due date in March. Um, the finance team are flexible; they can also extend the installment dates by a month or so if needed as well. So again, just reach out to them if required. But three installments is the standard for the tuition fee payments.
Thank you so much, Jamie. All right, there's another question here. So there are a couple of persons asking that does the University of Strathclyde accept Benin Republic certificate? So I don't know if you understand the question.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring you in here on that one. Well, what was the latest on the Benin Republic? I don't think it is. I think we
No,
are foundation.
we
Yeah,
don't accept it. We don't accept it now,
yeah. Unfortunately, not.
unfortunately.
Sorry, no apologies.
So that's you've gotten that. So they do not accept Benin Republic certificates. But just to also chip in here, we do have other options that you definitely can explore. If you have a Benin Republic certificate, feel free to reach out to us. We have other options that you can explore to help you, still get the degree that you're looking for in the UK. All right, another question here. Okay, 3 installments that has been answered. So the installment payment is 3 installments. That's the standard for University of Strathclyde. Are the postgraduate scholarships applicable to MRes courses?
Okay, yeah. So the scholarships that I've mentioned are only related to the master's top programs and not the MRes programs. Okay, and the MRes programs we have more limited scholarships and they don't follow the same process as the ones I've mentioned today. There may be some MRes scholarships, but it's more of a discussion between you and the supervisor, but they're not as readily available. So they're much more competitive and much fewer and far between compared to the top programs which have automatic scholarships. So unfortunately, no, they're not at the same level as the master's top scholarships.
All right, thank you. I'm looking through. There are a lot of questions regarding their scholarships, and we've already touched that there are scholarships available. So I'm just keeping all those questions.
No
All
problem.
right, so there's a question here. What support from David? I think that's why his hand is up. What support does the university offer for internship placement or job connections? So it's 2 questions, but you take the first one and I'll ask the second.
Yeah, absolutely. So the career service are absolutely key in terms of supporting students for job connections. So like I mentioned in the slide, the career service actively work with various different industries across Scotland and the UK to facilitate things like jobs being posted on their job portal for students to access and apply for those jobs. They also run the largest graduate fair in Scotland, where we bring all of the major employers from the UK and Scotland to speak to students directly, and it's a chance for students to make those connections. But it also depends on your academic department as well. So each academic department has various connections with the relevant industry or sector that you're studying in. So if you take engineering, for example, our mechanical engineering program will work very closely with companies like Rolls-Royce, Boeing, Airbus, and students will be invited to apply for various internships or placements after their program is ended. But it just depends on the program that you're studying. We have such a varied range of different programs, and each faculty and department will have different connections with industry. But you'll find a lot of our academic staff are embedded in those industries as well and have a lot of connections within those. But ultimately, as a student, I think it's really important that you engage with the career service, though. You engage with your academics because these are the people who have the links and the insight to guide you on what's the best next steps for you in your career. But the career service are absolutely vital in that process. And that's why we always say to students, please engage with the career service as early as possible during their studies so you can prepare for life after university and try to make those connections throughout your degree.
Thank you so much, Jamie, for that very exhaustive answer. So view on YouTube, Delight is also asking. She says, I just wrote WAEC this year and I want to study law. So I want to know if the registration is for free or I have to pay. So just to answer to that, Justin Education does not charge a fee for your UK application process. So we are going to be making the application for you completely free. We don't have a service charge for the UK. The visa process as well, we are not going to be charging you for that. It's free. So you have nothing to worry about. There's no service charge whatsoever. And she wants to know if law is available. Of course, the University of Strathclyde does have law. So we're going to be reaching out to you, like I mentioned. I'm delighted. I'm sure you are still listening. We're going to be reaching out to you immediately after the session to walk you through what you need to provide so we can begin the application process. All right, I'm looking through still a number of questions on scholarships. I'm guessing some persons joined in maybe after you've spoken about that. So I'll just give one more opportunity. So you just walk us through. If possible, you can still put up the slide. So we know that every other person has seen, I've gotten the answer to the questions regarding scholarships. Maybe just walk us through one more time.
Yeah, no problem. Can you see my screen okay? Is that showing?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So you can see here, so these are the undergraduate scholarships on the left-hand side. So for bachelor's undergrad students, so humanities, £5,000, business, 20% discount, science, £5,000 to £7,000, and then engineering, 10%. Okay, so that's undergrad. But I'd imagine a lot of the students here today were likely to be master students. And so this is for master's top programs, okay? So for Nigerian students, we have an enhanced scholarship of £7,000 to £9,000, okay, for Nigerian students. So this brings the fees down to sort of kind of £13,000, £15,000. So it's quite a considerable scholarship given the fees for these programs. They also have an excellence award of 10,000. Now this is not automatic. So you automatically get 7 or 9,000 as a Nigerian student for humanities. But you'll also be considered for £10,000 if you are a top student with a first class degree, for example. But if you don't get a 10,000, you'll either get £7,000 or £9,000 enhanced scholarship. For business school is one of our most impressive scholarships. So £13,000 to £15,000 automatic scholarship for Nigerian students. Okay, so that brings the fees down by quite a considerable amount. We do have the Excellence Award for all students, but this is not relevant for you as a Nigerian student because you'll already be considered for the £13,000 to £15,000 scholarship, which is much greater already. And then for science and engineering, we have £5,000 automatic, but then they also have the Excellence Awards, 7 to 8 for science and 7 to 10 for engineering. The Excellence Awards, again, are not automatic. You have to be a first class student, for example, to be considered for these. However, you are guaranteed 5,000 for engineering, 5,000 for science, 13 to 15,000 for business, and 7 to 9 for humanities automatic. Okay, so that's the main bulk of scholarships, and they are substantial discounts, it's particularly for humanities and business.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jamie. That was a detailed breakdown of the scholarships. So for all those scholarship questions, I'm not going to be taking them again. So sorry. So we can ask the other questions in the chat. These are the scholarships available for each of those different faculties. So there's a question here regarding the MRS programs. Is a research proposal required for the MRS programs?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you have to have a research proposal and prepare for the MRes program. Okay, it won't be to the exact same level as a PhD proposal, but it still needs to be a detailed proposal that outlines what you want to achieve from the research and what your intended methodology is and what you hope to achieve from that research proposal. Now, you can get detailed guidance on our website about the requirements for the MRes proposal for each subject area. So again, if you want to do an MRes, you will have to prepare a detailed research proposal for the program. And this is so that academic supervisors can review your suitability for an MRes program.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we've gotten the answer to that. Research proposals are required. And there's a question here. I want to start my application. I have HND upper credits. Can I get a direct master's? So basically asking what's the minimum requirement for
Yeah, no
direct
problem at all.
master's.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we don't accept a HND for masters. You would have to start on our bachelor's program. So you'd have to do an undergraduate degree. You'd maybe get advanced entry, maybe to year two of the undergraduate degree, but unfortunately for us, you wouldn't be able to apply direct to masters. You'd have to have completed a bachelor's degree to go straight to a master's program with us.
Okay, so I'm just looking through to be sure that we have not missed out on any question. So what's your turnaround time for applications? How fast do offers come out and the student get updates?
Yeah, it just depends per program, to be honest, but I would say we're relatively quick. I would say between I'm just this specifically talking about master's top programs, between sort of 7 to 14 days, I think, is probably the average turnaround time. It shouldn't take too much longer than that, but I would say between 7 to 14 days for the September intake. If you're applying for January, at the moment we're prioritizing September applications, so January applications might take a little bit longer. But again, if you do apply, obviously reach out to Jess Stone. They can contact myself or Aguno to chase any applications if they take longer on this. But typically, at a week to 2 weeks would be a fair amount of time to process the applications.
All right. Thank you very much. So just to touch on the MRS real quick again, applications still open for September intake for the MRS programs?
Yes, they are for some of them. There are some that have closed. I believe some of the business MRes programs have closed for September. I think that's right. They've recently just closed. So, but yeah, the other ones are still open. So some in science, engineering, and humanities are still open. But business school, I think, is closed as of a couple of days ago.
All right. So there's a question here. Do I need to, so the person is asking if they need to go through the interview session before CAS is issued to them.
No, we don't have any interview for CAS. We don't ask for any bank statements either for CAS. So for us, as long as you meet your conditions of your offer and you pay the deposit, we will issue the CAS. So there'll be no additional interview or bank statements required. So it's quite a straightforward CAS process for Strathclyde.
Right. So I think you just answered the 2-in-1 question here because the next question was if bank statement was required for CAS. So I thank you for that. I'm looking through to be sure that we've not missed out on any questions. Okay, somebody's asking regarding PhD programs if they are going to be needing, if they need to find a supervisor first. I think
It's,
that's,
yeah,
yeah.
it was recommended, yeah. So I think if you want to do PhD, the best advice is to have a look at the university web pages, look at the different research areas that we have, and on there you'll see all of our supervisors and all of their areas of research or expertise. You'll see a detailed breakdown of what they specialize in and any published works they have. So have a look at supervisors. It's always preferable to approach a supervisor first and make contact. We do have a PhD application process, so you can apply directly to the university with a research proposal. But it is advisable to also approach a supervisor first. But if not, you can also apply direct through our portal, and Jestone can help you with that process.
Thank you very much. Benz is asking, please do you accept Hindi? So the quick answer to that is no. You already spoke to that question, but just to also inform you that we do have options. If you're on this call and you have a HND, upper credits, or whatever the case is, you can speak to your Justin assigned advisor. We are definitely going to find you options within other schools that we have in the UK to help you, with options that are going to be a good fit for you and with the grades that you have. So for those just joining, this is Chestone's exclusive webinar with the University of Strathclyde. We've been taking questions, a lot of great questions have been coming in, and we're taking questions from all those who are interested. We've gotten people who are ready to begin the application. There's scholarships available as well from the University of Strathclyde to Nigerian students, up to £15,000. Just speak to Jestone Education and we are going to help you. If you need to begin your application immediately, they're going to be helping you with that. And there's a question on YouTube asking, can somebody without WIEC start? So just to answer this, no, you need your WIEC. If you are going for an undergraduate program or a postgraduate program, you need to have a WIEC. So definitely you need to have written your WIEC to be able to, to go in for any program at the universities in UK. I'm also just scanning through to be sure that we've not left out any question. We're going to be rounding up shortly. For those that are dropping that they are interested in the chat, just an advisors are in the chat room looking through to identify those who are ready to begin so they can immediately contact them and send them the requirements that are necessary for the application process. So please feel free to drop, I'm ready, I want to begin, whatever the case is, just drop it in the chat and our advisors are going to be reaching out to you immediately to begin the application process. Olayinka, NECO results, yes, definitely. You can make use of your NECO results. It's either your WAEC or your NECO. You can make use of any of those two results for application. Johnson, you can drop your questions in the chat, saying you're interested, but you have questions. Feel free to drop your questions. We have a few minutes left before we start wrapping up today's session. So we'll just give a few more minutes for questions. Take whatever questions you have before we start wrapping up on today's session. All right, somebody's asking if they're able to transition, if they'll be able to transition to data science. I don't know what they studied because they didn't mention, but do you want to just speak to that on a general note?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, it depends on your background. So we have data analytics. Good thing about data analytics is it does take students from different backgrounds, whether it's engineering or sciences, computer science, business, because data analytics, comes from different angles, from different industry perspectives. So yes, it depends on your background, but absolutely there is flexibility if you come from a business degree, for example, to do data analytics, or if you come from engineering, for example. So yeah, please reach out to Jestone with your more details on your qualifications, but that should be possible. We just need to double check with your qualifications, but it should be fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jamie. Peace just answered. I was going to speak to Aisha's question. Yes, there are PhD programs, and you need to get, it's advisable that you get a supervisor before going in to begin the application process. So I think we can start wrapping up now. Most of the questions are questions we've already touched on. And just an advice. Final thoughts so we can, begin to wrap up today's session.
Yeah, sorry, you just cut off there, but I think just wrapping up. So yeah, in terms of yeah, I want to say thank you so much to all of you who attended today's session. Hopefully you found it useful and insightful and giving you some things to think about in terms of options for studying at Strathclyde in Glasgow, Scotland. I think if you are interested, you can obviously reach out to myself or Aguno, but I would really encourage you to engage with the Jestone academic advisors. They can support you with discussing all the different options that you have within your budget or depending on what program you want to study. And again, if you want to reach out to us directly, Jestone, I'm sure we're more than happy to facilitate any further conversations that you have. So thanks again for joining today. It's been a pleasure hosting this session. Thank you all for attending today. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and good luck with whatever comes next for you. And hopefully we'll see some of you in Glasgow at some point in the near future.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you so much, Eguno. Thank you to everyone that joined today's session. Thank you. Feedback that we've been getting is that it's been quite insightful. And, that pleases us because that's what we are trying to do to help you simplify the entire process. So if you have any further questions, even after today's session, the session is going to be ending, but you always have access to Jestone Education to ask whatever questions you have. An advisor is going to be dropping our hotlines in the chat. So if you need to speak to somebody right now, you need to jump on a call, whatever it is, feel free to call any of those lines, and we are going to be attending to your questions. Thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you to everyone that joined, and do have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you. And massive thanks to Jestone as well for organising this excellent session. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye. See you. Bye.
Bye.